Welcome back to the Sis Take Care podcast. I'm your host, Alexandria Harris, and I am so excited that you have come back again to join us for yet another amazing episode of Sis Take Care. Hey, this entire platform and this community is dedicated to women of faith who are living at the intersections of care, hope, and love. We cover everything from work and well-being to grief and grace, and a little bit of how we're defining success over 40. And this episode is perfect to touch on all of those topics. We have Karlyn Benn, who is a licensed professional counselor and liberation strategist. She's an author, speaker, and founder of Love is the Verb. You can find her on Instagram there. This episode is jam-packed with nuggets and lessons that I know I learned something, and I know that you will too. So be sure to share this episode with all of your sister friends who you know need to take care.
Yes, you're fine.
Like, when do we become over 40 though?
It happens so fast.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that that's really true.
Jeez.
Like honestly, I don't actually know where our 30s went.
Okay.
Like, I know we were working.
Mm-hmm.
I know we was living,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I don't feel like I have anything that defined the decade of my 30s in the way that I'm looking to define my 40s. And even in the way that my 20s were very much, this is like, this is who you are.
Yeah.
And this is what you're trying to do. You're trying to graduate from college. You're trying to da-da-da-da-da. This over 40 life.
It's real.
It's real. We should talk about that. Ooh.
It's real. It's no joke. No, over 40. Yes, I talked about that a little bit this morning because entering into the peri stages of life and dealing with the different things, it is requiring me to be kind to myself.
Can we talk about perimenopause? Is that a thing?
I mean, we can. I'm still learning all the ins and outs, so I am definitely not an expert, but I know enough to know.
Yeah, well, because you're a health-minded person anyway.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, you probably know more than most because some of the things that people are just now learning to say, oh, did you know that you need B12? Karlyn was like, yes, I did. When I was 27, I started my vitamin regimen. I need to make sure that, my blood cells is going and things like that. Like, you were already doing it. People say, did you know that running and walking, you don't even need to go to the gym. You can just get out and move your body. Yes, because Karlyn been saying that for a decade or more, right? So like,
that's
those types of things.
interesting. It is so funny how, but things are changing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm working now to get back in my 5 a.m., 5:30 routine. But if I'm not sleeping well at night,
oh, yes,
then that changes my ability to wake up in the morning.
Yes.
And it's just, I'm learning that I can have some wine, a cocktail around lunchtime.
But not dinner.
But not dinner.
Not dinner.
Not dinner. Yeah. And that's when you like it. It's all just it's too much.
It's amazing the things you learn about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, the brain fog, it's foggy.
Yeah.
It's just
it's rough.
Thick.
It's rough.
It's thick. We cloud chasers.
Yes. Yes. And you're trying to do, I don't know. I'm just releasing. I'm at the point where I'm just releasing. I'm giving myself so much grace. I'm, working into a new routine again, making some slight adjustments, finding what works.
Yes.
But here we are, Alexandria.
Listen.
Here we are.
Look, where them fans at? Where them fans at?
That is it.
You're like, oh, don't ask me twice. The fan is here. The fan is on hand. The fan is in the purse. You see those people who wear the fans around their neck?
Yes.
Like with the whole outfit. It's like an air conditioner fan.
I don't wear it with the outfit, but I have an around the neck fan.
Where do you wear it? To like the festivals?
Yeah.
I had a sister break down to me. She said, oh no, this fan is body cooling. This is totally different from that little cute thing you have in your hand. See, that fan is for face cooling. Okay. And I said, oh, there's a whole strategy behind it. This is that 40 and over life, okay? This is that 40 and up.
That is it. And
anyway,
here we are.
And here we are.
Yes.
And we made it. And we still look good.
Hello.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Which
That
Sina,
part.
whoever said that you stop looking good? Whoever said that?
Racks on facts. People said it.
It's ridiculous.
Men a lot of time be the people who saying it, but women say it too. And the media, of course.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
The media, of course, perpetuates this idea that women over 30 are old, because the woman who's 30, she has to have her stuff together. She's mid-career. How are you mid-career at 30 if you spent your 20s just getting your degree and getting your feet wet?
Out.
Right. So you're mid-career at your 30s, which means you're, a seasoned a seasoned dame. Okay. By 40, you're supposed to have, your kids and the white picket fence and all of those types of things. I mean, we used to see in TV shows, the women who were 40, they were grandparents in TV shows. Yeah. So that's where we get the messaging from that, aging with grace. That's not us. We'll look good. We'll say black don't crack.
Yes.
We'll say black don't crack all day long.
But
when we think about the milestones and the way that women over 40 are discussed, that's a little bit different, right? Because that's about the look, because we gonna look good. Okay, the melanin is gonna melanin.
Yes.
But it's about feeling either old or feeling like you're supposed to be at a certain point at a certain age.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to have the kids at a certain age, be married by a certain age, have a specific type of career that is defined, okay, with the 401k and a mortgage, all of those types of things by a certain age. And there's practicality to some of that, but I think it's interesting when you realize I'm just not that person. I don't fit into someone else's narrative or standard about who and what this person, this body, this age is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then coming to a place where you're okay with that. Because I think that's hard, right? It's hard for the individual because in their life, at least in my experience, in my life, I feel good about who I am. I've done amazing work, worked with amazing clients, worked at one of the top HBCUs in the country and written a book and done all of these accomplishments. So internally, I feel good. But when I measure by the standard of what's supposed to be happening, I'm not married yet, don't have kids yet at that particular time. It was like, I don't feel bad about my life, but I do feel behind. Right. And there was a distinguishment. And then it was like, well, am I going to fix it so I can make my life look like someone else's standard? That's a choice. I mean, I think it's a bad choice, but it's a choice, Or am I going to embrace that I don't fit someone else's narrative and I need to run my own race? And I chose the latter. Praise God.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean, just because I'm good with that, doesn't mean I don't hear the messages and see the expectation of what is supposed to be, and have to stop and say, that's not your race. That's not your journey. Stay focused. Like, do what you got to do. Don't flinch. Don't blink. Right? Don't get, what is it? Comparison is the thief of joy.
The thief of joy. Yeah.
The thief of peace. The thief of a whole bunch of stuff, right? So we're going to just dive into it from this particular perspective. Because I feel like you're like.
Because so much of what you're saying right now, I'm continuing to experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I'm not going to make a blanket statement that it doesn't stop. It's being open to the fact that it may not, and it may change. Because at 45, I'm shifting. I'm changing.
Ooh.
Right? I'm changing, moving out of one career that I've spent all of this time, got degrees in, all these certifications, all this stuff that I used to use to define my worth and define my intellectual ability to do this work. Right? She
got a lot of degrees, y'all.
I got a lot of certifications. That's it. But
she's an expert.
However, Not to say that anything is in vain, because I'm also a firm believer that God works everything together for your benefit, for you to be able to use some piece of it later, whether it be pouring into somebody you pass on the street or professionally, right?
Yes.
Everything is going to be put to good use. However, it is I had to have the conscious conversations with myself to give myself permission and show myself grace for making the decision.
Ooh, permission.
At this stage to pivot and to change.
That's good.
And what that looks like. And, trying things the way that are, prescribed for you, especially as an entrepreneur when it comes to marketing and all these different things and wanting to fit. Not wanting to fit in the box for approval, but wanting to fit in the box because you're seeking the right way to do this new thing that you're approaching, right?
Absolutely.
And figuring out and sitting with the fact that that doesn't work for me, right?
And finding what does, though. Because I think the thing, and you said so many really good nuggets. I think the biggest part of that, especially in entrepreneurship, and I've been in entrepreneurship for a long time, like longer than I knew what to call it. I was one of those people who was selling stuff, cookies and candy bars and that kind of thing for school fundraisers. Yeah. And I was like, this is fantastic. Mm-hmm. And so I've always been entrepreneurial. Mm-hmm. I see, how do you take a little something and make something out of it, a little nothing and make something out of nothing, Everybody's journey ain't quite like that. And getting to a place where you say, well, I want sustainability. Because you can hustle. Yeah. That's a hustle. What I was doing out there, what those other people were doing in the vendor space, that's a hustle. Mm-hmm. And they make their money for that. But it's not sustainable. Mm-hmm. And when you're searching, what you just said, what you're searching for is, what is the system? What is the process that will help me create sustainable success? Yes. And there are a lot of strong best practices out there, but you got to be able to work with folks who see you as who you are, and then help you adjust those things to make sure that it actually fits your audience, your avatar, your community that you're building, your personality, all of those additional pieces, because the best practices work. Okay. The best practices work, but are you going to work them? Is everybody going to sign up to work them? Does everybody have the same budget to work them? All of those types of things, the same personality to work them. And so that fluctuation, if you don't adjust, and that's, one of the things in coaching, if you don't adjust for that, then you can learn all the best practices you want. You're not going to implement them because they don't actually resonate with you. You don't believe it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It doesn't fit. It doesn't sound like your own voice. Yeah. And so you're like, okay, well then what do I do next? Well, you figure out how to actually bring it down to a success that you can maintain, that you can be consistent about. Mm-hmm. But that's a really good point. When did you realize that the things that you were trying to emulate other very successful people wasn't working for you? And then what are you doing instead?
So this has been me forever. And let me clarify what I'm referencing. I am not truly at my core in my soul of souls.
I know where you're going with this.
A social media girly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm okay with that. I've been okay with that. All right. I enjoy not knowing what you're eating for dinner. Right? I appreciate, we talked about it, not watching you act like you getting out the bed, but you had to put the camera up to record you getting out of bed. So you were already out of bed, sis.
You don't want to see my sheets and that, and then my curtain in the back and my alarm clock that is gently placed.
But the crazy thing about it is I watch.
Yes.
I watch. And so I feel like a little piece of me is dying every second. I spend time engaging in all of the things, not to mention I feel deeply. Mm-hmm. So hearing the news, watching somebody hurting, seeing people suffer, it doesn't sit well
with your soul
at all. Yeah. At all. However, in 2025, it's not like we have, like, people don't use the newspaper anymore, really, to find things. They're not. There's Craigslist. I don't even know if Craigslist is still around.
It does. It's still around. It's still out there in those streets.
We ain't using it like that.
But that's not. Yeah, it's had its day.
It's had its day, right? So social media and getting on, that is the new one of the new things, because there's so many different, you've mentioned best practices, right? So for me, I'm not knocking it. You will still see me on there. I'm still going to be present. It's all about working it and having your presence known. I don't want to knock it. It's for me, I'm in a space of finding what works best for my personality and who I am.
Like curating the content.
That's it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's it. Now, I'm grateful for the efforts and for that season of working to get all of those pieces in line, recording the videos and learn. It's helping me grow in the way that's necessary for the next season. Okay. I had to ask myself, is this fear talking or is it lack of alignment?
Oh, that's good.
All right. Are you just not wanting to do it because you're scared to do it? It's uncomfortable. It's outside of your comfort zone. Or does it really just not sit well with you? And the only way for me to find that out is to do it. Is to do it.
Oh, I like that.
And then I can have an educated answer. And I don't live in a season of wondering, maybe it would have worked if I had tried that, right? It just allows me to know that isn't what works for me. And it challenges me to grow in that area, in that way. Now, there are hard stops, right? There are things in my life that I don't have to test to see if that's going to work for me, because I know without a shadow of a doubt. But if I question it even for a second, I sit with it. And then I move forward in learning how to do it and doing it, conquering it so it no longer conquers me. And now I can make the educated decision on if I want to continue. And so I'm learning that this is all trial and error, and making room for it all, the error being the biggest thing, because I'm learning in what some may call failure. I'm learning through that. I'm learning through the process. And so opening myself up to that has been extremely helpful for me. And now I'm finding my footing as I'm shifting, as
like
my
your
heart,
groove.
What's going to work for me?
What's going to work for
right?
you?
But that time that I spent over there grinding and getting 2-3 videos posted and doing all this stuff, which I'm grateful for. Now I have the ability to say, let me just say this and go ahead and put that up.
Talk to your social media manager. You're like, girl, here, let me take this photo post real quick. This video ain't going out tonight. It's going out tomorrow. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Peace be unto you. I'll see you tomorrow.
All of it. But I never would have gotten there if I stayed in my comfort zone, in my bubble, and didn't push past the things. And I'm embracing it. I'm grateful for every single piece of the journey. Now, I'm ready to be there. Look, can we just get there?
Listen.
Enough.
Lace your boots up and let's go. But I think that's really important. I don't want y'all to miss what she's saying here, right? So did you catch that? What you're describing is action bringing clarity, and clarity then brings your consistency, right?
That's it.
Here's what typically happens, because that's a mindset shift. And I don't know if you intentionally went through that mindset shift or if it's something that organically through your own learning you got there. What typically happens, especially for us women, especially women over faith, we're like, okay, I got to pray about it. Okay, I got to think about it. And then I need to worry about it. And then I need to be anxious about it. And then I need to decide if I'm ready for it. And even if I am ready for it and I have all the background and all the experience to do it, I don't know if I should try it right now. Maybe I should try it another time. Maybe I should wait till the kids are out the house. Maybe I should wait till the summer when I feel like I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Maybe I should wait for my hair to be better. Maybe I should wait, right? And what I hear you saying is how I distinguish fear from unalignment, fear from this actually just is my zhuzh, it's not my thing, is in the doing, taking the action that leads to the clarity.
Yes.
How did you decide action was going to be the way that you test that versus overthinking it or even assuming action over assuming Well, that must not be right for me. Well, maybe that's just not, that's for them. They're the successful ones. They're the special ones. And that's just not me. How did you make that decision?
Because I know me.
That's so good. Self-awareness. Come on.
Yeah, I know me. And part of one of the areas that I see with the women I work with all the time is they're not honest with themselves.
Ooh. Come on. Tell us about ourselves. Let us know. We lying out here. Who we lying to? Ourselves and others. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. And the thing is, Alexandria, we're having these conversations with ourselves.
With ourselves.
Who am I trying to prove anything to when I am sitting talking to myself and I still lie? I still lie. So now I can't believe me. I can't trust me. And that's reflective in my life, in my world, how I present myself, right? Because I don't trust my ability to make decisions. I don't trust my follow through because I'm not being honest with myself in the beginning.
My God.
So my awareness of myself is, KB, you will come up with some stuff to stop you from doing things. You will make up all the reasons because you're too scared to move forward. See, and it's hard to have that honest conversation with yourself because it doesn't feel good.
Yes.
We want things that feel good.
Yes.
Part of getting to that point is being honest with yourself when it doesn't. And then you can work your way to it feeling better because now you can address whatever it is that's in your way.
Now you're at the root cause.
Yes. Okay. And so me being honest with myself in the conversations, you have a track record of avoiding things because it's uncomfortable. Now the uncomfortable is full body panic attack, breakdown, headache, hand palms sweating, right? So it's no small uncomfortable moment. It's a moment that I have to push through. I know myself well enough to know the more I do it, the more I realize I'm not going to die. I'm still going to live. I'm still going to be here.
You learn that you ain't going to die, girl. The camera gonna come on right now and you gonna live to see the next day. Oh my Lord, my God.
Oh, but it doesn't feel like it in the moment.
In the moment, that's true.
It doesn't feel like it.
Yes.
And so if I just make room to have all of those feelings,
yes,
okay, and be honest with myself, encourage myself, you're gonna be all right. You've been here before. You felt these big emotions before. You'll make it to the other side if you just keep going. So it was the conscious decision at that point to do something different because what I had done wasn't
working. That's so big. I did a previous episode on Sis Take Care about introverts, being an introvert versus being insecure. Did you?
You came from my throat with that post.
What?
Yes, you did. You did. I appreciated it. Yeah.
Whatever do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's great.
What did you take away from that correlation in that conversation?
This exact thing that I'm talking about right now, right? I was giving my insecurities too much power.
Ooh, say that.
I was giving them way too much power and hiding behind the fact that, yes, I am an introvert. I am.
It's the hiding part.
I am. Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with being the introvert, right? No. Because you can be powerful and also have different personality than the loudmouth, big, social butterfly folks who are out there. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the hiding. Ooh.
Yeah. And it was comfortable for me, right? It's comfortable for me to stay in the background, to not really be seen. And the crazy thing is,
imagine, hold on, before you say the crazy thing, can you imagine this beautiful face?
Thank you for that.
And you can't tell that she's tall like I am, okay? And we still wear heels, honey. Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Tall sisters, okay? Can you imagine this fabulous, beautiful face trying to duck and hide in the back of the crowd? And then if you say, no, you lying, because you know that you had those moments too, where you feel insecure for whatever the reason, maybe not because you're an introvert or whatever. Even as an extrovert, and you know this, even as an extrovert, as someone who thrives off of good engagement and other people who beautiful conversations and love to be, around like dynamic environments, love them as I do.
Yeah.
There are moments where I'm still like, okay, wait, how do it's time for a group picture. Okay, let me be in the back. Hi, okay. Or somebody say, do you have questions? I'm like, should somebody else ask first? How do I? Is my voice going to be too loud? Hello. Oh, that's too. Hello. I want to sound pleasant. And like everybody has a thing that they're trying to hide. It's staying in the hiding. It's using whatever it is that's actually the substance and the authenticity of who you are as an excuse, as a barrier, as an obstacle to you being able to get to the success, the creator, the manifester that God has created you to be, the person who has something to say.
Yes.
That's the issue. It's the hiding.
Yeah. Because all day, catch me on my couch with a book, with a remote.
And then I'll just be knocking on your door like, I want to do books and remotes too. You're like, well, we can together. We can. But I have to put that on my agenda so I can go people. No,
Oh, come on. And see, the thing is, it's not that I can't do it because I love people, right? I have a heart to help. It doesn't mean that we don't. Right. We just get our comfort zone, our energy source the energy is being
absolutely.
That's it.
We get to be replenished and recharged.
All day, every day. All day, every day.
But I love that.
And I think that's all of this is what makes the world as beautiful as it is.
Yeah.
The fact that we're so very different and we can pull from each other and on each other because my boyfriend is an extrovert. All right. He wants to be doing stuff all of the time. All right. I can help him with rest.
Yes. That's good. Because and I think there are a lot of people who critique introverts more.
Yes.
As though there's like some sort of, subdivision or class of like, oh, you're the introverts over there. I think that's a problem, actually, because it almost is like treats someone who just has a different way of getting their energy and maintaining as something is wrong with them. And everybody is supposed to be social and everybody is supposed to be gregarious and everybody is supposed to be out there. How you doing? Shaking hands and kissing babies. And that's just not the case because extroverts struggle because we get drained. We get energized from being with people, but then we do it so much and it feels so exciting. At the end, we have what I've identified as restraint collapse. And so we're like giving and we're serving, we're smiling, we're taking pictures, we're dancing, we're hanging out, we're having a great time. We're at conferences and we're line dancing with folks and we're listening to speeches. We got our hands up, we're doing all that. And we cannot tell when we've run out of energy.
Yeah.
So then the resting is something that is a constant challenge. And it's something that actually has to be scheduled, has to be a reminder because it's not natural. And your boyfriend is an extrovert and you're the introvert. I don't know how these pairings keep just happening because my husband is the biggest introvert that there is. My husband is the biggest introvert in the world, but he absolutely has a social media following of over 100,000 and over 60,000 on YouTube. And he will get on the camera and talk, and he will talk to people about what he loves. And, so he channels it into things that are purposeful for him, not everywhere.
Yeah.
Because after he talked to the people and he go to the conferences, he's going to be in the house for the next 7 to 8 business days.
Listen.
Do not expect a text message back, okay?
That recharge is real.
Don't bother him.
It is real. The recharge and making room for it and accepting that it's going to look different for all of us.
Yes.
These terms and labels that we place on things.
Yes.
I mean, it does give an overview of what you could potentially
Sometimes
expect,
helpful.
right?
Yeah.
But letting it look however it needs to look for you is cool too.
Yeah.
And just period across the board. So I'm just enjoying what's happening and how I'm evolving and where I am going.
Yeah.
And looking back at where I've come from and where I've been.
Yes.
So it's just I like it.
You're on a journey.
Yes, I like it.
Well, let's talk about that. Where you are going and where you have been. And you talked a little bit about being in a pivot in your business.
Yes.
And so it takes me back to how I know you. We were going to a church together, both just visiting a church. Like, okay, I mean, I don't know, are y'all all right over here? What's going on? Do you use Bibles? You know, what you preaching? Okay. And my husband and I met your mother, and she introduced us to you. And during that period of time, I learned because of your background that you were working with people in health. Right. In health coaching, and with the background of the licensed professional counselor, you were able to give such a different lens to that. And so we talked about, body shaming, and we talked about being the tall girls and the way that people who are either too tall or too short get criticized. And we talked about black hair and, all of the different perceptions and connotations. But what really happened, so we became friends there, but what really happened was when I got pregnant and I was so sick. I was so tremendously sick during the pregnancy. And I was like, I need some help. I could not keep anything down food-wise. Water made me sick, but I was constantly dehydrated. And the doctors were like, you have to, get more hydration in. And you became a coach for me to walk me through food. I want to say right here, you helped salvage my pregnancy in terms of my personal experience in that. I was so lost, and then also couldn't really explain it. Everybody talks about bliss, pregnancy bliss. I wasn't having all of that. I was sick. I couldn't eat, and I have to eat. So I felt like I was forcing myself to eat, which I felt like was causing me mentally and emotionally to feel like, am I harming my child? All of these things. And of course, you helped me a lot with food, and that was a big deal. But I think it was the combination of your background as that counselor and talking about food. We did accountability. We did meal planning. We did conversations about, loving ourselves. We did conversations around like God being with us on the journey. You prayed for me. So many different elements of that were such a comfort to me in that particular season. And I just want to make sure that I'm saying thank you to you for that, because it really changed my relationship with food, and it helped me sort of like ground myself in what I learned later is called a blue pregnancy, where, nothing feels right physically, mentally, everything feels, hormones are just completely distorted, and everything feels like you are not yourself. And then you're supposed to love on this baby and love on yourself and all these things and go to 12 doctor's appointments a week. And, I had all these specialists and all those things. And so you really, really helped me with that. But I think that confirms something that you said earlier, and you were talking about, previous certifications and other things that you've done in your career and how that's led you up to now. God wastes nothing. God wastes nothing. We think we're wasting something, but if God called you to something, it is for a reason. It is for perhaps a season, perhaps it's not the lifetime, but it is for a reason. It is a tool that goes into the box. And so even though you were health coaching for me, you were also doing counseling, and you were also doing spiritual counseling in that way, because you were building on all of the tools that God had put in your toolbox to be able to help me in that particular season. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being there for me.
You are so welcome. And thank you for thanking me, right?
And thank you for thanking me for thanking you. All gratitude. It's like, I just love you. No, I love you. No, I love you. No, I love you. It's so funny.
It's so, it is, yes, it sounds funny. And also, as I'm sure you know, being in this profession, we don't always get a thank you.
Facts.
We don't do the work for the thank you. It still doesn't change the fact that it's nice to hear from time to time.
Absolutely.
Right? And so that is at the root of my thank you for taking the time to thank me, right? Because I am so grateful. And of course, the time that we worked together, it, like you said, we built a friendship. And so it was more than that, but also it's a blessing to be able to do that. And so you're very welcome. And I'm appreciative as well.
Good. But then we moved down the line some because then I get to be your coach.
Yes.
As you pivot from the licensed counseling component and health coaching around food to dealing with more self-love, self-compassion, self-trust, and really thinking a lot more holistically about not just food, but worthiness. Yeah. Who do we believe that we are? What do we believe that we are worthy of as women in particular? And, the men deal with some worthiness issues too, honey.
Yes.
They definitely do. But the language they speak for that worthiness seems to be a little bit different. And so you've had a tremendous turn of translating these skills that you had, these tools in your toolbox, into this next iteration, which is love is the verb, honey. What did you say? Love is the verb and who?
I am the subject.
And I am the subject. When I heard that, I almost fell out. I said, put that on a t-shirt immediately now.
You did.
Immediately now. So let's start here. What were you not seeing being addressed in the path of the counseling position, in the path of the health coaching that said, there's another kind of unnamed pain that I want to speak to, that I'm hearing echo through clients, but we're not talking about, and I want to talk about that?
I use myself as just the prototype, I guess, for...
You are the prototype.
Yes.
Yes, I think I'm in love.
You are a trip, child. Yes, right?
Shout out to Andre 3000.
Hey, the process, which that came to my mind as soon as I said it too. But I use myself and the experiences that I have gone through, and not everyone. I have come across a lot of women that go through all of the changes to lose the weight and still feel empty. Still feel as if I thought this was going to be the answer, but it's not. Yeah. I'm still lacking something.
Yeah.
And that was my story. So I became a health coach because I had lost all this weight. People are coming to me left and right asking me how I did it.
Like, oh my gosh, you look so good. Isn't it odd when you change your hair or you lose weight or something, and all of a sudden people who would have walked right past you suddenly like, oh, hey friend, what's up? Can I get your number?
Drives me nuts. Because listen, let me tell you something. I was cute then.
Listen.
And I'm cute now.
Okay.
Right? So what you're not going to do is boil me down to some pounds lost or gained.
Yeah.
Right? There's so much more to me than my weight. I refuse to compliment people on their bodies anymore, on their weight anymore. Because what I also came to realize was I walk into a room having lost X amount of pounds and everybody's oohing and on and talking to, girl, let me gain those same pounds back. And I walk in the room and it's silence.
Oh.
What is that?
Ouch.
How do you think that feels to a person that knows that they gained the weight back? And in their mind, they're walking into this room and everybody's just trying not to talk about it. Right? Yeah. You looking at me funny because you see it and I know I see it because it's me.
Yes.
But it's the way that we just compliment. I mean, it's just too much, right? And then, people lose weight for a variety of reasons. People gain weight for a variety of reasons. Some stuff is really... It could be some type of a traumatic experience they went through. It could be health related. Like there's just so many different things attached to just that simple. And you think you're like really, you mean well. The intention behind it is good. I just wish that we would think bigger picture when it comes to certain conversations and certain things. But for me, realizing that there was a missing piece, it was my experiences. So then I entered a period in my life where I started gaining the weight back. Life got really, really hard. I lost my house. I am dealing with depression. I am gaining weight back, right? Life got hard.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm gaining this weight back. And I never really felt whole when I had lost it. I was still always searching for something. And it was, I was dabbling in it when I was doing the health coaching because of my journey. I knew that there was something there. I didn't really grasp a hold of it until I gained weight back.
Mm.
Right? Until I gained the weight back.
Okay.
And so it allowed me to sit in the space of, KB, you don't value yourself at all. At all. Because I was ready to be finished with life as a result of having lost my house, being a depressed therapist, and what society deems as overweight, which is crap anyway. But just for the sake of the conversation, I'm going to say an overweight health coach, because I've gained this weight back. And on anybody's BMI scale, which was not made for me in the first place, I don't fit that whatever. So, here I am. These are my certifications. This is my career. This is what I'm doing for work. And I'm the opposite of everything I'm supposed to be helping people do and become. And so who are you to be out here pouring into people and encouraging them, and you can't even get yourself together? These were the conversations I was having with myself in that time. All right. And so ready to be done, I'm just like, at that moment, asking God to give me a sign, show me, not necessarily, I don't think I said, give me a sign. It was, God, if there's something you want to tell me before I do this, because I know you don't want me to do this. I know enough about you to know that this isn't what you want from me, but I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Yeah. So just go ahead and tell me whatever, if there's something else you want to let me know, forgive me. I've shared with you, my phone rang. It was my brother, had a picture of my niece on the phone. And that I melted, right? Because if I'm not here, who's going to be there for her? Yeah. Who's going to be there for, how could I devastate my family in that way? That was a turnaround point for me. Yeah. All right. That was a massive turnaround point for me. So I took that and I was determined to work on Karlyn at that point, because she was missing the same things then that she's missing now. That foundation of knowing who she is, but then who she is, right, is missing. And you cannot put your worth and your value in something so superficial as your weight, right? Because in doing so, you're missing everything. You're missing the big picture. You're not acknowledging your greatness, right? You're not acknowledging the gifts that you've been given because you're worried about the number on a scale. And so I had to start working on me at my core. And it was a journey. It was a journey that it continues to go. I don't know if we ever stop growing, especially, as children of Christ, right? We're continuing to grow. We're continuing to evolve. Our hearts are continuously changing. And in that change, that's part of what I'm experiencing now on this journey. I am presenting very differently than I used to, right? And so embracing that side of the conversation, things that I used to enjoy, I no longer resonate the same way. I don't feel comfortable doing things that I used to before because everything is it's shifting. My heart posture is changing, right? So embracing the fact that this conversation is so much bigger than just the weight as a health coach. I felt like I was doing people a disservice by staying in that area. And we need them. People really do struggle with that. I get it. It was because I ended up gaining the weight back, I realized how much I struggled with disordered eating. All right. So all the diets I had been on, the obsession over what I was going to eat, all of that stuff just wasn't healthy, and it wasn't contributing to my overall well-being. I needed to make changes in that way as well.
Like in your whole life.
Whole life.
Yeah. I think what is really important about what you're saying is the way in which a lot of that deterioration is happening internally. Mm-hmm. Because how I see you and how I've always seen you, and I think how most people have seen you is, beautiful, strong, clear-minded, very focused individual who takes good care of herself. I mean, you're talking about, weight fluctuations and all of that. I've always known you to be working out, always a runner, taking care of your body, taking supplements, drinking your water, going to the doctor. Like, you are not a person who practiced self-neglect.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the ways in which we're sort of taught to identify maybe mental health issues going awry is around self-neglect. And I think that that can happen, but it's not always visible.
Yes.
It's not always visible.
Yes.
And it's really about sometimes people are having that dialogue, like you said, internally, and are dying under their limiting beliefs, are willing to give up on life when their whole community is saying, but I would be right there if I knew how to be, help you. If I even knew that if I even had a hint that there was that kind of pressure happening, I would have, held your hand and said, never, you can't leave us in that kind of disheveled moment, because we love you so much and we value you so much. What I hear you saying is it's not about them. It's about the conversation that you're having with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately the conversation that you're having with God, because you asked for God to say something to you and God spoke to you in a way that resonated with your spirit, and in a way that in that moment gave you hope and also some purpose of moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about getting to that place and having purpose and loving people, but then having to separate that from people pleasing. Like, you love your family, okay? You love your spouse. You love your siblings. You have siblings like I do. You have sisters and brothers. I have 2 sisters. And you love them. And they are like a big why in our lives. We care about them. We want to invest. And there has to be a very thoughtful, careful boundary around people pleasing and separating those things that I love you, but I don't live for you. Tell me a little bit about your journey with making that distinction and how you've come to understand people pleasing as you've grown in the Lord, in your own understanding deeper. Tell me a little bit about that. That's
it. So I love you. I can't live for you.
Yeah.
And I'm not God.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm not God, because what I found myself doing as a people pleaser was trying to be all the things for everybody all of the time. The fixer. You have a problem. Let me break my back for you to get better. Let me stay up at night concerned about you because you're in a pinch right now. You're hurting right now. Life is throwing you some ugly bows.
Oh, yes.
And I am hurting for you, and I have got to find a way to fix it. And in doing that, I'm totally negating the fact that God allows the good and the bad. He has you in that particular space in your life for a reason. All right. And my family, we grew up believers. We know who God is. We know
Go
all
to church
of the
on
things.
Sunday.
Church Sunday, Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday, right? That was how we grew up. All right. All week long, we at the church house. But the thing is, if as my brother, as my sister, then I'm getting in the way of whatever process you're meant to go through right now.
If you always trying to jump in and fix it.
If I'm always trying to jump in and fix it. Meanwhile, my jumping in and fixing it is tearing me apart. It is breaking me down. And prioritizing myself, I have had siblings that have been like, you think you all that. You know, that's fine. Because at that point, I know that's your thought.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
And it's not even they forever thought. It's I'm angry at this moment because I depend on you to do you don't care about me. Is that how you going to treat me? And I, because family will do that because they're used to a particular kind of yes.
That's it.
They're used to an automatic yes. You love me, therefore you're going to say yes, you're going to do these things. And if you say no, you better have a good reason for not being able to show up for me in a way that shows me that you love me. But that's all about that one person. Like, it's a one-sided aspect of the relationship. It does not include the other person, where they are, what God is saying and doing with them in that moment. The struggles, to your point, and thinking about this whole piece of the conversation holistically, the internal invisible pain and struggles that the person who might be saying no is mustering up the courage in those moments to say no, that person has no idea.
Mm-hmm. There's no regard. They're thinking about themselves, as a lot of people tend to do. Okay.
Yeah, the Bible says something about that.
It does. It does.
The Bible
right?
do be saying that we want things to go our way. We want to pray prayers for God to do what we want him to do versus seeking his will. And this is just one example. Okay, well, God, I prayed, you ain't answer me how I want. Maybe my sister can do it. Maybe my uncle can handle it. Maybe I'm gonna go back to my mama. Mama, go ahead and, give me the money for that so I can fix the thing so that it can be someone else's responsibility. And I have found the solution in getting the resources from someone else to fix a problem that I created.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Accountability.
Okay.
Accountability.
Which is not the conversation at all. All they see is you're no longer prioritizing me.
Mm-hmm.
You used to. I could call you and you would jump. And now you ain't jumping?
What's your feet broke? What's going on? You got on your good heels? What's happening? Why you not? Wait, so now hold on, because we didn't talk about sir boyfriend, okay, and relationships. And I mean, some married women feel the same way.
Yeah.
How do you then navigate that for relationships that you choose? Okay, because we talked about family and they blood and they gonna be there. But in relationships that we choose, we want to, please our person and make sure that they know that they're loved and but we still have to set boundaries with them. How do you make that decision? How do you navigate that?
This is why the conversation around being free from the bondages of societal expectations, all of the things, all the doubts and feelings of not being good enough, having low self-esteem, because when you are sure and confident in yourself, when you have communication skills where you can say, babe, I hear you. And I still disagree.
Yes.
Right? I hear you. And I'm going to choose to do something different.
Like this does not have to be an argument.
I just said that the other day.
This does not have to be an
This
argument.
does not have to be an argument. I'm okay with the fact that this is the choice you're making for yourself. And in you making that choice for yourself, I'm going to choose for me.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean we have to be angry about it, mad. We're just going to find what works for us in this. But I think knowing yourself also gives you the ability to know when you have to, that honest conversation with yourself where you have, for the sake of being in the relationship with someone that you've chosen to spend your life with, right? Being okay with that decision to humble yourself, to be vulnerable enough and say, all right, you're right. I can be X, Y, and Z sometimes. Let me sit with myself and see how I could do this differently. And it doesn't take away from me as a person.
Right.
For me to, it's because we're not in competition. And I don't have to prove anything to you because I've already proven everything to myself in terms of knowing who I am and understanding, like the way that my mind works, knowing that my intentions are pure and I'm not set out to do anything intentionally to hurt you. And also I need to listen if I did. Yeah. If I did hurt you, that wasn't my intention. So maybe I need to say things a little differently.
And take ownership.
And take ownership of it, right? And not be on defense mode all the time. But when you truly embody this self-love conversation, that the version of it that I like to have, not the superficial, but the deep-rooted version, you're okay with things because you don't take offense to a bunch of stuff either, So you saying the comment about, is it that you introvert or you insecure? Whew. So I could sit with the fact that I got insecurities, right? Because I don't have anything to prove. Who am I proving anything to?
So
it's really okay because you may not ever tell it, but we all got them.
We all got them.
So I don't, it's this, let's just we're going to talk, or you're going to sit back and judge me and act a certain way, knowing that in your judgment, there's some projection. There is the fact that that you're struggling with some things too, and it's easier to deflect, right? Like there's a whole bunch of ways that the conversation can go, but what Tupac say?
What did he say? He said a lot of stuff.
What was that? Who said you can't judge me or judge the...
Oh, he listen. Oh my gosh. Tupac said a whole bunch of people can't. Only God can judge.
Only God can judge.
Tupac said I get around. Tupac said, dear mama,
But wait,
I love you.
I'm not gonna bring it up and then I can't remember what Tupac said.
Tupac said,
God can judge me.
only God can judge me. Tupac
That's
said,
it.
I hit him up. He said a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. But he did also say,
But I knew you would know what he
only
said.
God can judge me.
I knew you would know. Yes, but that's real. That is real.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it is very if we could sit with that, it removes the lack of our willingness to be vulnerable and share. Because in sharing, you build community, and sharing, you're helping someone that's sitting right beside you, that's struggling possibly with the same thing, right? If we just remove all of that stuff and allow ourselves to be present
Yes.
wholeheartedly, knowing who we are, now that we can make some moves, we can shake a little bit, things can change.
Yes.
But that's just not what we're taught.
Yes. I want you to tell people how they can find you. Because I know that there's some great opportunities that they need to be following. Like, y'all need to be following this sister over here. She's got a wonderful IG channel where you talk a little bit about the difference too between self-care and self-love. And could you speak to that as we wrap up?
Yes.
And also let our amazing Sis Take Care audience know where they can find you.
So I think the self-care, self-love, conversation is honestly starting to overlap more.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be self-care was more of the massages and bubble baths.
The external things.
The external things,
maintenance.
Right? That's it.
Yes.
And self-love was more of that internal, foundational, shifting from your soul up type of a conversation, which that it still is.
Yes.
The self-care conversation, though, is shifting. And it's involving so much more than just all of those external things, right?
Yes.
And so I think that I still think the self-love conversation has the potential and ability in a lot of circles to go deeper.
Yes, definitely.
But self-care is one that has been, that I'm glad that it's expanding because there's elements of it that have been neglected for a very long time.
It's an entry point.
Yes,
it could be an entry point for many people into recognizing where there's self-neglect or where there's lack of self-worth.
Yes.
And then entering deeper, it's like, oh, okay, but beyond what I can pay for, what do I do with my soul?
Yeah.
How do I really address, the things that are happening internally? So I think that's really powerful. How can people stay in touch with you and keep up with you, friend?
So loveistheverb.com is the website. TikTok, I am on there. Love is the Verb. Instagram, working
you be on TikTok doing the dances.
Working on all of that. I don't dance.
You don't dance?
I don't dance. TikTok's evolved. It has shifted some, and word has it it's going away. I don't know. So don't look for me over there.
Okay.
I just started a Substack.
You did. And that first Substack she just released, it's so good. All about that people-pleasing aspect that we were talking about. As a woman of faith, okay, trying to make sure that not only are you pleasing God from a direct relationship, but pleasing church and whatever those requirements have been. And so a lot of women, in my experience, feel boxed in both directions. So when you talk about people pleasing, and so many people have to be able to find language to name, where is it that I'm feeling trapped, and how do I open up and change that narrative? And you do that very well. Guys, check the link below. We'll leave it in the description to make sure that you can get access to her Substack, and definitely subscribe to it. It's going to be some good stuff there.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I did not talk about the role of a caregiver. And we've talked on previous episodes with my Sis Take Care community about caregiving, and that caregiving can be both sides. It's caregiving children at the younger age, and it's also caregiving as a older child. And you caregive to your mom and your dad. And I have to tell you, I still have their wedding anniversary picture on my refrigerator. And I know that season of grief, losing your father, was something that was life-changing for you. But I want to tell you that walking through that and trusting God even deeper and really working through all the things that were coming up, all of the fears, everything, it's just something that I'm encouraged by and I admire. And I love you so much.
I love you too. Girl, listen, girl, I'm glad you said all of that at the end because this, honey, where the tissue.
I said we're going to leave grief to the end. We're going to leave.
I appreciate that lookout.
We're going to leave. We're going to leave grief to the praise God and amen.
Yes.
How can this community be praying for you?
Oh, that is so good. Prayers that my faith be strengthened. I've realized that I want to believe that my faith is strong and runs deep. I'm realizing that it doesn't because I contradict. I will have situations where I'm contradicting myself. So I am on a journey of learning how to really practice faith, not in the cute, I trust you, God sense, but like in the real, I'm praying about this and I'm releasing the thoughts and the worries and all the trying to fix it on my own. Because adulting is real.
It's real.
And all the parts that come with it. So prayers that my faith journey be strengthened.
Well, listen,
open to that.
What the words say, Lord, I believe, but help me with my unbelief.
There you go.
So it's right there in the word. He's given us a way to address those moments when we are like coming up against our limitations and our doubts. So I want to thank you so much for being on. Y'all follow Karlyn Benn. We appreciate her for coming to Sis Take Care. You guys are in for an amazing treat. This is an amazing podcast. Share it with everyone. I know I learned some things and I hope you all did too. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Peace. And we're out.